Hey guys, my name is Owen and I am the bassist of Legacy Alive.
And I'm Jacob, and I'm the guitarist and singer.
Frank, drums and vocals, and Curtis, the other guitar player.
Beautiful. Welcome, Nightbreed, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
I guess we'll start back in 2006. What happened back then to get Legacy of Supremacy started?
Me and you just shooting shit at the checkouts at Coles, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Curtis and I are the two, I guess, founding members that are still going through the band from 2006 with Legacy of Supremacy, and mutual love for heavy metal and rock and roll.
That's it. Similar interests, and off we went.
Yeah, beautiful. Awesome. So why didn't Legacy of Supremacy keep going? What made you guys sort of take a break?
It kind of never stopped. It got to one of those times where we were pushing on with it, but we were really slow to put things out. And when we finally started getting some momentum and going, something would happen where somebody would either have to leave, or something would happen in one of our lives where it would just slow us down again. But when we started getting momentum back again, saying the word supremacy loudly became...
Or Googling it.
Or Googling it became a worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
But
enough.
there was also another band that popped up during the time, way after we started, that were in Russia or something like that called themselves Legacy of Supremacy, and we thought, so many people at gigs were saying, have you considered changing the name of the band? And then we just decided, we would just rebrand it and relaunch it. It was 2019 when we did that. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So I think Legacy Alive definitely suits your sound more as well. Like, it's a bit more kind of, rock alive. Yeah, it's good. Like Kiss Alive or something. I don't know.
Well, that's where it came from. We were going to do a live recorded gig, and we were going to do it and call it Legacy Alive, just like Kiss Alive. That was the whole idea. But one of the bands that we put on to open for us thought that was the name of the band. And we were like,
That's actually pretty good.
It's actually pretty good. And we brainstormed for about 6 months trying to find a good name, and we just kept back to Legacy Alive.
Yeah, beautiful, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
What's the songwriting process like with you guys? Like, is one person kind of spearheading that thing, or do you kind of work together?
We all kind of usually come to a rehearsal or something with a bit of whether it's a bit of a song or most of a song or whatever, and then we all just sort of throw our own parts into that, and just sort of goes from there. So,
Yeah, very collaborative.
yeah.
Oh, awesome. That's cool.
Sometimes spontaneous in the room as well. Stuff happens, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent, man. Your latest album, Existential, came out earlier this year. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, cool. How was the recording process with that?
Fun.
Actually, it was, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. So we're hanging out at Vision at the moment because we've got a rehearsal tonight. So it's a cool room that we're in. And we tracked Frank on the drums.
One day?
In one day, yes.
Oh, nice, mate. Wow. Yeah.
And we actually have our own studio at my house. So after Frank put the drums down here, we just went back to our own little cave and worked away at it. And it's nice because we've gone and worked with other studios before, and it's always a great process, but having the ability to sit there and press go as many times as you want and not have to worry about how much money you're spending on the clock helps a lot. And you learn a lot too about what you want to put into it.
Especially how long you've been mixing it as well.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
going back and forth. Yeah. Many hours in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, cool. What kind of influences? Like, are you all bringing something different in there, or are you all kind of got like these are the 5 albums that we all love, kind of thing? Like,
there's a lot of crossover, but at the same time, we all like all sort of different stuff. It does sort of pop up here and there.
Yeah.
In songs as well. So
Yeah. I also feel that Existential is a combination of all of our influences. We're all very unique in the way we play and the sort of music we listen to. Obviously, we all play very different instruments and have very different input into each song. I think it comes out really well with how awesome they all marry together. And I think Existential is a massive, I guess, product of the things that we love most and put together.
yeah, cool. Ah, nice, man. this is an aside, I suppose, but people say some eras of music are golden. Like you know, for black metal, it's sort of 93 to 97. That's the golden era of black metal. You know, like that kind of like glam rock sort of stuff. You know, that you guys play with the harmonies and everything. What do you reckon the sort of golden era is for that? Any ideas?
Yeah. Whoa, yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say 86.
Yeah.
84. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. So what albums were there during that time?
Well, Slippery and Wet was the biggest one in '86.
Yeah.
I think that's when it sort of really gained traction. I mean, like Bon Jovi had released 2 albums before that, but nobody knows the name of the second one.
Yeah.
And then, like, obviously Van Halen was sort of late '70s. This is building and building and building. I think it was '86 when everything sort of took off. '89 was probably the peak.
When it got
when it got
refined and
Yeah.
the production was way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think Dr. Feelgood, Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood was probably the peak of that era. And then after that, everything sort of was either trying to be Dr. Feelgood 2.0 or everything was trying to be like 5150 or something like that. So it was pretty good.
I like that. I mean, I've been a big fan of glam stuff for a long time, but not just the hair metal thing, but a lot of that melodic, like Journey, Boston, Foreigner, that kind of thing. Extreme, yeah. And as much as that's so cool because of the songwriting, as you get closer to the 90s, you get more of the Skid Rows, Guns N' Roses. It gets a little bit darker and a bit more edgy, and this is where this guy starts to pull a little bit more of his influence in.
Yeah, and I think definitely that side of the my influences, you can definitely see in Existential as well. Because it's very different how I approach things. So, and I guess that era was late '91. That era Frank was talking about, and that peak in the golden era, where I sort of have my influence there.
Yeah, I think Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 were probably the end of it.
Yeah,
and then we just like
yeah. When you're recording and mixing and stuff, is there any kind of particular era or sound that you're trying to emulate with your mixes and everything?
It kind of changed a little bit with each release, didn't it? But
when we did the morning after, we were really going for that. I guess it's the Boston's Third Stage or Walk On, that really big 80s stereo chorusy thing where we've got a lot of gear that we collected that's from that era as well.
Nice.
So kind of we're just all about recording with that gear to try to grab that vibe. And I think we got that. But when we moved into Existential, we were going for something that's a little bit grittier, a little bit gnarlier. And yeah, I mean, I guess listening to a lot of the stuff that like Mutt Lange did, that's the things that really screamed at me going, that's the kind of sound I want to try to get. Going from more of that like Boston Def Leppard tone to something that's a bit more like Crew or a bit later on. Yeah.
Awesome. On your recordings, like it sounds awesome. You guys sound really good, but one of the things that stands out a lot to me is those vocal harmonies. Like who's singing? Like I know you got your lead singer. Who's backing you up? Who's doing the vocals? Yeah, beautiful. All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Everyone's got a mic on stage.
Yeah, excellent, man. So what are how do you figure out those harmonies? Like what are you going for, a specific sort of difference in keys or tones, or is it just kind of see what happens?
Yeah, it's usually
thirds and fifths. Yeah.
It matches on the guitars.
Yeah. No, nice. It's effective, man. Sounds really good.
See what happens.
Yeah. So we got the you guys have the Storm Rider show coming up, right? Yeah, that's a cool bill, man. That's going to be a good one. What have we got in store? What can people look forward to?
A bit of the old, bit of the new. We did Rocks in, when was that? That was February, March.
Yeah.
And then and we played pretty much played Existential from start to finish. The order was a little different just to make it flow better, but this time round, bit of the old stuff, a few of the favourites. We got one song. If we don't play it, we'll get lynched. So
Yeah.
We're gonna play, definitely gonna play "Lucid," which
is the one.
we just gonna play with it. But that's definitely a bit of a tribute to the late Dan Howell, who was a bass player with us when we wrote that song, and he was part of the band then. We toured with him, and he passed away not that long ago. So we'll be sending it pretty hard for him, particularly when playing "Lucid" as songwriter. So definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah,
and it'll be our
nice.
second songwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. No, that's great, man. Excellent. So what you got shows coming up, the albums, out there. What's next for you guys? What's next for Legacy of Life?
We've probably got a couple more shows for the rest of the year, and possibly recording another song or two, if we feel like it, I suppose.
Yeah.
And,
We've got a lot of ideas, that stuff that didn't make the grade for Existential, and things that they weren't quite ready. And we've got so many more ideas now, so we're kind of going to do that in like a second part. But we're also celebrating 10 years of our first recorded release this year,
Awesome.
which was way back when, in the Legacy of Supremacy days. It was an album called Midnight Till Dawn, which is not available on streaming or anything. It was a hard copy situation. So we're going to revamp a couple songs and do a tribute show for that, and plus some of the new stuff. And we've got a couple of other really cool things in store that we're going to try to do, which is just more to show the influences of us as individuals. But we'll let that cook away for a while and drop it when the time's right.
Yeah. No, beautiful, man. Sounds good. Awesome. Well, yeah. Was there anything you guys wanted to add before we wrap it up? Anything you want to talk about?
What date is Stormrider? We should.
July 10th.
July 10th, yeah. So definitely get your tickets to Stormlighter for July 10th. There's so many great bands on that. We keep on seeing Icarus here pretty much every Wednesday when we're playing. So you better go and see those guys too. And Silent Night, cool bunch of guys, and they're pretty hectic. You gotta love them.
Yeah.
More to be announced. We don't even know who they are.
Yeah. There's others that we don't even know. And last time there were some wicked bands from the eastern states that were coming. So who knows what's up with the last of the announcements. Big thanks for everybody who listens to us. Find us on Spotify, YouTube. We've got an Instagram as well. Just jump on board with all of our shit and see what we're up to.
Check out the video on YouTube.
Yeah, we've got a video of our single, which is on YouTube. Give it a little whirl, give us a comment, see what you reckon.
We filmed it in this room, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not this bit.
The bit behind the camera.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, thanks, heaps, guys. That was wicked. Hey, cheers.
No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Man.